Extended School Care New Parent Orientation. I'm here with Margie Scott, who's the coordinator of Extended School Care. I'm Bob Gilmer, coordinator of Communications Media. We're going to go through our presentation here tonight, just a couple slides, and then if you have any questions, there's a Q&A tab at the bottom of your screen. Just click on that and you can put your question in there, and we'll try to answer as many as we can in this next half hour. So Margie, I'm going to go ahead and share the screen. Show is yours. Enjoy. There you go.
Awesome. Thank you. Are you going to tab through, or you want me to do that?
Nope. I will tab through. Just say next slide, and we'll
okay. Well, next slide, and let's get started. Okay. So just to start out, our before school care program, if you registered for mornings, starts at 7 a.m. at each school and includes breakfast, crafts, games, and activities. The after school care program ends promptly at 6 o'clock, and then again includes snack, homework time, crafts, games, and active play. Important thing to note, all of our locations are licensed by the Pennsylvania Department of Human Services, which means we are a licensed child care program. So we need to follow all the regulations that the state requires for licensed child care programs. So snow days, it's hard to believe that we're talking about snow days, but when school is closed or there's a virtual day due to snow, there's no care. If there's a 1-hour delay due to snow or inclement weather, care would begin at 8 in the morning. If it's a 2-hour delay, it's 9, which is the most typical. And we do have a 3-hour delay for 10 o'clock, but that hasn't happened, I don't think, but we'll let you know what happens. If this program closes early due to snow, it's really important that you listen to the media and the North Penn information when there's inclement weather, because when it does snow and we close early with school, the program is open for 2 hours following dismissal. So we need you to leave work immediately and have a backup person as well to pick up on those days. There is $1 a minute late fee, which is charged typically after 6 o'clock, but it is enforced on those snow days because it's important that our staff get home safely, as well as you and your student. We do offer in-service days, which are not included in the tuition. It's an extra charge, and the days listed are there. And if you please don't write them down. They're also listed in the parent handbook, and there's a link to that on our webpage, and I believe in the email that I just sent you. Those are all held at Bridle Path Elementary School, and those registration forms are in your bill. The bills were mailed last week, so you should be getting those now. And the registration form for the first one, which is September 26th, there's no school that day, is in your bill. Care is held from 7 to 6, and it includes activities, breakfast, lunch, and snack. And then registration forms have to be submitted with your payment, which is $38, by the due date on the form. So if you use the main entrance when you come to Bridle Path and bring your photo ID, because there's different staff and they may not know you, that would be something important to know. If you want to pay on the credit card, you can email us the form, but you need to have your payment at the time that you send the form in to us. There are a slew of early dismissal days at 12 noon or 12:30 p.m., depending on which school you're at. And again, those days are listed, but they're also on the calendar, so you don't need to write them down. Early dismissal care is included in your after school care tuition when it falls on your regular day. So if you're registered for Wednesday afternoon, October 12th is the first date, and that's included for those who already attend on a Wednesday afternoon. If it's not your afternoon, and you want to purchase it, you may call the office to ask about availability, which would be $33. But again, there has to be space because we have a 1-to-12 ratio. And then reminders of these dates will always be in your newsletter, which is in your bill. Drop off and pickup is held at the door listed on the back of the newsletter, which again was in your bill. There's a little box on the back that tells you what door to use for each school. Please bring photo ID for pickup until the staff get to know you. We ask that you not park in the fire lanes. Please park only in the designated parking spaces. We do have regular fire drills and emergency procedures, so the kids know what to do if there is an emergency during our program time. And each location has the same emergency evacuation location that the school uses. Letters that let you know about our emergency relocation plan will go out in September. And at this time, masks are optional, but we ask that you
Margie, I lost your audio there. Can you make sure you're not muted? Yeah, you hit your mute button there.
sorry.
There you go. All right. So you were saying masks were optional and you asked that they please social distance.
Social distance when signing children in and out, right? This year, in the past, due to COVID, staff signed the children in and out, but we're going to go back to parents signing in, and you'll sign in at the entrance to the childcare space. So for some of you, that's the lobby, and some of you, like at Hatfield, you have to walk down the hall, or Oak Park, you have to go down the hall just a bit to the cafeteria. Okay, if you want to change the schedule that you've signed up for, we ask that you send us an email by the 14th of the month, and it goes into in effect the 1st of the next month. So any changes for September 14th will go into effect for October 1st. If you'd like to withdraw, we ask for 30 days written notice, and we will gladly refund your deposit, which was $75. We do offer flexible scheduling options for families. So if you want to switch your days, you actually would be charged for purchasing an extra day. We don't allow people to switch because the flex people pay an additional fee to do that. And extra days must be purchased on a space available basis by calling the office, preferably a couple days in advance. Medication. If your student requires medication during our program hours, you must provide the meds in the original container with the prescription label that shows your student's name, provide written instructions from the physician on the label, and then complete the medication permission form for each medication that you have. If you have an asthma or allergy action plan, we need those. And then you'll have to bring an EpiPen or inhaler to our staff during program time. Unfortunately, we don't have access to the nurse's office. And in something like an inhaler or an EpiPen, it really need it immediately. We can't wait for that, hunting around for the keys. We try to have those on hand should that be a necessity. We also ask that you have a plan for anything else such as diabetes or seizures for us. We ask that you call the site if your student won't be attending on a regular afternoon. We do look for the children and expect them to be there. We do also pick up the kindergarten through 2nd grade children at the classroom. We ask you to let your classroom teacher know what your child's after-school schedule is. Payments are divided into 9 equal payments. You can pay by check or money order up until the 5th as an on-time payment, and credit card payments are actually due on the 1st. We did send out information, but you can also check the website. We use a system called EduTrack, and you can also email our new secretary, Shauna, and she will set you up for automatic payments if you'd like to do that once you get your credit card entered into the system and get an account set up. It is the same system that you use to pay for your Chromebook. You can get monthly receipts if you need to by contacting our office, or you can email Shauna. And we do accept subsidized childcare funds. So if you have funding through the Montgomery County ELRC, we will accept that fund as well. Bob. Okay. As I mentioned, we pick up the kindergarten through 2nd grade students at their classroom door. There is 30 minutes of quiet homework time provided Monday through Thursdays. If you have not submitted a health appraisal, we need the 5-year-old health appraisal. And for students going into 6th grade, we also need a new one for them. Parents are asked not to leave the childcare space before and after school and walk into the building. Personal belongings should be left at home. If you have questions or concerns at any time, please feel free to ask the staff or call the office. Monthly newsletters will be in your bill, and menus and medication logs are available at the program location. COVID updates. This one is an ever-changing slide. So right now, we will just check the children when they come in the morning or the afternoon, just to make sure that they're feeling well and they're not having any symptoms of illness. If they are having symptoms of illness, we ask that you leave them at home until they're fever-free and well enough to attend school. Medical Masks are optional at this time, and we're still going to do some social distancing. And we are cleaning additionally and doing lots of hand washing while they're with us at school so we can keep everybody as healthy as possible. And those practices will be consistent with what is implemented during the elementary school day. We are waiting for an update from the state. In the past, we've needed doctor's notes for those who have COVID to return. And right now the health department's telling us you have to stay out for 5 days and then you can return with a mask for 5 days. So as I said, that's all changing. So we're keeping our ear out and waiting for answers back from the state and the health department as to how that will affect us for the fall.
All right, very good. There's a couple questions starting to come here. And again, if any other questions you have, you can go ahead and put that in the Q&A portal right at the bottom of your screen. Margie, I was just wondering, so if I'm a new parent, what's the first day look like? What's my morning look like when I'm dropping off? What are things that parents may forget or things to keep in mind? Like that very first day they go to drop off their kid in the morning, what are some things they should know and what's that look like?
Okay, so the first day is a regular day. So we hit the ground running. We have care provided. And it's important to look at the back of your newsletter so you know which door you're going to. It is not the main entrance at all schools. Inglewood is around the corner and back in the cafeteria around the left side of the school. North Wales is a different door. So it's really important that you look. You can also kind of look around and see where people are going when you pull up, but it's good to know which door you're going to. There's also a phone number for your child's school on the back of the newsletter, which is really important to know. Put that in your cell phone. And if you have questions, you can't find them for some reason, you can give them a call and hopefully get some help. Let's see, in the morning, what else do they need? Breakfast is provided for all students, so you don't need to worry about breakfast. And for the afternoon, again, you want to look on the playground for the kids as well if they're not answering the door. And there should be a sign there to let you redirect you to the area that they're in.
Okay, sounds good. So a couple questions have come in here. Question about kindergarten students that don't have homework. What do those students do when you have your homework time at extended care?
So we have quiet activities for them. We have books, we have games and toys that they can play with quietly. There are lots of coloring sheets and puzzles and other things for them to do.
Great. And while breakfast is provided for every student in the program for free, if a parent wants to send a breakfast in, can they do that?
You can do that. We ask that you not send anything with peanuts or tree nuts because it's such an allergy issue. We do provide food and it should all be nut and peanut free.
Okay, very good. Question about how students are grouped during before and after care. Are they grouped by age? How's that usually work?
So it actually depends on the school. Montgomery is our largest program and there are 3 different groups and they're grouped K1, 2 and 3 and 4th, 5th and 6th. York Avenue, Oak Park, Hatfield are smaller locations and there are about 24 kids with 2 staff and everybody's together.
Okay, very good. Question from a flexible schedule parent asking how they fill out the days that they need for care. How does that usually work for a flexible schedule parent?
So Shauna sent an email out on Thursday to you with those instructions. So if you did not get that, you need to give us a call and make sure we've got the correct email address for you. But for flexible parents, schedules are due the Friday by noon for the upcoming week of care. So we're looking for schedules now for next week for those who are flexible.
Okay. On the first day of school, we have a parent who would like to walk their student to school for the first day of school, thereby, I'm assuming, not using the extended care in the morning. How do they go about notifying, or what's the procedure if there's a morning that they won't use extended care?
You don't have to let us know if you're not coming in the morning, but you can call the number and let the staff know. If you're not coming in the afternoon, it is really, really important that you either call or send a note and that you make sure the teacher knows that we need to know as well, because we are looking for everybody and we will call you if for some reason we can't find your child.
Gotcha. And even though it's day 1 of the very first day of having extended care and they don't show, it's okay that first morning, or do they need to
It's
call?
okay, but again, if it's afternoons, please call. We know the first week a lot of people don't necessarily use the program or they're walking their student to school, and that's fine. But if it's afternoons, it's just absolutely necessary that you call and let us know that they're not attending.
Okay. And when students eat breakfast, they're eating it in the cafeteria with the extended school care program in the morning,
You know
not.
what? That is going to vary this year by school. Different principals have made different decisions. So some schools everybody will go through the line. Some will take their breakfast to their classroom and some will eat in the cafeteria.
Okay.
So
different by school. So we'll find
it
out.
It is. Unfortunately, that's just how it's working out this year.
Gotcha. I think some more questions here about first day of school, just always being the first day. If a parent is going to, again, skip extended care for the morning and like their student to take the bus instead that day, is that something where they should contact the transportation department first, or how's that work with busing usually and extended care?
You can use the bus at any time as long as that's your route. So that's not a problem. Again, if you'd like to call us, the phone numbers are on the back of the newsletter, which is in your bill. They're also posted in the calendar. So if you've gotten your new calendar, they're in there as well. But you can call and say that you won't be using it and just leave a message on the voicemail. We do have voicemail. Or it's fine if you don't come in the morning. But again, I have to go back and stress, I know I said it already, but if you're not coming in the afternoon, you have to let us know, because we will be hunting you down.
So how's that work with a student absence then? Should they still call you if the student's absent? They put their absence in with the school.
Often parents will call us if they pick up early for a doctor appointment or an absence, but we actually do get a copy of the absentee list from the office.
So as a parent, and we've stressed how important it is to let us know about the afternoon. But if I call my kid out sick through the school, I really don't have to do anything else after that? You
really don't have to. Often people will email us, or once you get to know your site director, often their emails and newsletter that you're going to get from them, and you can drop them a line as well.
Excellent. Okay. And then as far as, and I'm assuming this would be when they're talking about change of schedule and letting you know, meaning they're not going to be there in the morning or afternoon. Is it something where the parent should notify both you and the teacher so they're aware that the student's going home? Or
yes, the school needs to know if there's a change too, because that means they're going to take the bus. They need to know if they're going to the parent pickup line or they're walking. So that's really important as well.
Got you. Question about food allergies and snacks. What's the process or procedures there for extended care with students who have food allergies, and how do you A, get that information, and then I guess B, how do you mitigate any of the food allergy issues at any particular building?
So if you have food allergies, hopefully you've listed that on your emergency contact form, and we're aware we do give the site staff a list of everyone's allergies and any kind of issue that they would need to be aware of. It does not hurt to let the staff know as well, like an egg issue or something like that. Then obviously they shouldn't be taking an egg sandwich for breakfast. But the snacks for the most part are packaged items. I'm looking at the snack and breakfast schedules. Like breakfast is mini bagels, fresh fruit and juice, yogurt, cereal, things like that. So, obviously if they have a gluten issue, we need to know about that and need to have you pick out some options that they can safely eat. Snacks again are packaged items and juice or milk. So what's on here? Cheez-It crackers, Doritos, graham snacks, cereal and milk, and yogurt and juice. So they're pretty neutral. I mean, someone could certainly have an allergy to any of those items, but again, let us know. And if you put it on your emergency form, the staff should be aware of that.
Yeah, and I think that's a good time to review. You talked about it in the presentation earlier about the EpiPen and inhaler, because you have an action plan. The parents submit an action plan for those things to the nurse for school, but keeping in mind that the times for the nurse and the school are completely, I'm going to say completely different. They do not always line up with extended school care first thing in the morning and in the afternoon. So going back to referencing that, if your child has an EpiPen or inhaler, that you need to have that for extended school care as well as with the nurse, because you almost got to consider it two separate things. There's the cat. I always love the cat when it comes into the shot. So going back to that, to making sure that you have, if you have an inhaler, if you have an EpiPen, you need to have that for extended school care, and the ones that are with the nurse aren't always accessible first thing in the morning, because the nurses do not have the same hours as extended school care. So that's really critical. And then filling out the action plan for extended care And then obviously if you have more questions, you can talk to your site director there about that. But obviously we want the student to have what they need and not have something locked behind a door that we can't get to, because obviously the nurse's office isn't just wide open all the time, right?
Correct.
So
Correct.
that's a good point to bring that up there. The question going back to the in-service days, I can bring back up that slate again. If you could just briefly review again, like how parents would sign up if they'd like to have care on an in-service day, of what that procedure is.
Yes, so there are days when there is no school, but the school buildings are open, and there's actually, I think, 8, 9, 10 or 11 of them this year where we do offer care. The list is on the slide right in front of you, but it's also in the parent handbook. So we are now offering registration for care on September 26th, and that's held at Bridle Path Elementary School. So if you're interested in purchasing care on that day, there's a registration form in your bill, and you'll also be able to pick them up at the school building in our program. And they're due back by September 1st with the payment. You can email us the form and pay online with the credit card, or you can drop it. There's a drop box outside of our office as well, and you can leave that information there. Payment and the form has to come in. Please do not pay online and not send us a form, because we have no way of knowing what you're trying to pay for and sign up for. So we need the form and the payment. And that's 7 to 6 as well.
And at Bridle Path Elementary School.
Only at Bridle Path Elementary,
right.
yes.
So even if you're a Gwen Nor parent, a Gwinnett Square parent, if you're paying for in-service day care, you're taking your child to Bridle Path Elementary School.
Correct. So that's why we have a deadline, so we can accumulate, all the emergency contact forms, medications, anything we need to be there for that day at Bridle Path.
Very good. We have a question here about billing. Best contact if there's any questions with billing or where the bill's getting mailed to or emailed to.
Probably me or Shauna. Shauna is our new program secretary. Janet was with us for 5 years and she's moved on to special ed. So Shauna Deininger is our new secretary, and her email and contact information, as well as mine, is in the emails that we've been sending you. And so that's who you want to contact if you have billing questions or concerns at all. And we're happy to help you and support you with the credit card payments as well, if that's something you need help with. You do need to know your student's school ID number in order to open up an account and put their name on it so it gets to the right place. And we're happy to help with those numbers as well.
Gotcha. So hopefully the person who asked that, just email back there. We'll get that straightened out for you of where the billing is going and making sure that's okay.
Should have been mailed. They all got mailed last week. So they should have gotten mailed to your address, but people move and things change. So we can always email it to somebody if they really didn't get it and there's something they need.
Yeah, it definitely was the question. It went to the wrong house. So they wanted to get it to the right house.
That happens. Yep.
So we're wrapping up here. We'd said this be about a half hour, or about 24 minutes here. If you have any questions, go ahead and throw them in here. As always, as well, I'll go ahead and share the district webpage. npen.org is our webpage. And make sure I have it up here. Here we go. And you can find extended school care under central office, extended school care, which will bring you to the page, which will give you the information and contact information about what's going on in the extended school care program, the parent handbook, lots of information here to go through. A lot of it that we talked about here tonight is all here. That's always a good resource to go back. And of course, the phone number for extended school care is listed in there as well, if you need to be able to call the program. Couple other questions here. Will a parent be contacted if there's any missing medical forms? Thinking I've turned everything in. If something's missing and you thought you did, will you let them know if you're like, hey, we're still missing?
Yes, we have been actively seeking any custody agreements, allergy or asthma action plans, health forms, vaccination records, anything like that that we don't have. We would have been calling you and emailing you. We're trying to get all of that taken care of before the school starts. We have a number of families whose children are starting kindergarten but have just turned 5 and they haven't had their health exam yet for their 5-year visit. So we'll be looking for those. And a lot of those people have furnished us with their appointment dates. So we will not harass you until those dates have taken place. But yes, we are trying to get everybody's records complete. So if you have not heard from us, my guess is that we've got what we need from you. And thank you so much for all of you who are sending things in. We really appreciate it. It makes it so much easier to get those things.
Gotcha. The question that's sitting here too is, a parent who is a flexible schedule parent hasn't received a bill yet, should they have received it already? And if they should have, and they should have received it, what should they do? What would be their next step?
They can call me at the office tomorrow, 215-853-1038 or 39, and we'll figure out what happened to it.
Okay.
I will tell you that the Lansdale post office is not always so great. So
Meaning slow, or it may not get there.
both.
Okay. Okay.
But it's the only way we really have to get people the bills. The bills come out through the mail the first month. After that, you'll pick them up at the program location. So that makes it a lot easier.
Very good.
And again, if you want to sign up for automatic payments on the EduTrack system, there's a link in the emails I've been sending out that you can go ahead and do a Google form, and we will put you on auto payment so you don't have to worry about it.
Gotcha. Well, very good. I know there's going to be a lot of questions. Day one's always exciting at multiple levels, at all schools, at every single level. All of us here are to support you and your student as you're coming into the program. So as brand new parents, don't worry. If you have questions, go ahead and call us, email us. We'd be happy to answer those questions. Same thing once your student leaves the extended care program and goes into school in the morning. First week is always a lot of fun, a lot of questions, but don't be afraid to ask. And know that we're all here to help you. So, Margie, any final thoughts here as we wrap up tonight?
So just for kindergarten parents, I've actually gotten a lot of questions about the first day of school. So the first day of school is a full day of school, August 30th, but kindergarten orientation is the day before. There is no transportation, and it's in the morning. Bob, help me, 9 to 10:30 at your school, I think.
I believe so. Let me see if I can find it quick.
Sorry.
Yeah,
but that's probably the number one question I've gotten. So
yeah, the kindergarten orientation, that's a big one, just because it's not, you come in with your student and then you'll review everything with the teacher, but they do not provide transportation. So you come to the school. You just double check the times on that. And of course it depends on the time of your school, I believe. Let me see here. It's 9 a.m. to 10:30.
What I thought.
For all kindergarten students.
Right.
So it doesn't matter if you're bridal path or your early school or late school. It's all 9 to 10:30. Just keep in mind it's no transportation. I know in all the kindergarten meetings, and many of you are probably in that where we talked before, is keep in mind too, it's not, a lot of times it feels like let's make it a family affair and everybody's going to come out. So we ask you to keep that in mind as best you can, because obviously we have more than just the kindergarten student in the class. We also have the parents. So if you bring grandpa and grandmom and everybody, it's not really a open house that way. It's supposed to be an orientation for the student and the parent. So we ask you to do your best to minimize the number of people that are coming with you. Obviously, mom, dad, sometimes a sibling has to come along because there's no other option. But keep that in mind for that morning of kindergarten orientation, because we're getting all the kindergarten kids and the parents in the room. Okay, I think that's about it. Margie, anything else?
No, that's all I've got. Thank you so much for taking the time to come tonight and learn more about our program. And again, as Bob said, if you have any questions at any time, please feel free to give us a call or talk to our site staff. We're happy to help.
Excellent. All right, everybody, have a great week. We'll see you next week already. This is where we begin for the class of 2035 for our kindergarten parents and everybody else. We look forward to a great 2022-23 school year. Take care, everybody. Have a wonderful night. We'll see you later.
Thank you.